Here's another example of how to solve and graph an inequality. In this inequality, we have x on both sides of the inequality sign. We need to get all our x's together. So we can add a negative x to both sides of this inequality. We now have 4 minus 3x is less than 5. So we have just one x. We need to get it alone. The furthest thing from x is a positive 4. So we can add a negative 4 to both sides of the inequality. As long as you're adding, it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, we will be able to keep the inequality balanced. We now have negative 3x and a positive 1, but this inequality hasn't changed because we haven't multiplied by a negative, so we still have less than. X is not alone, it's being multiplied by negative 3, so we can multiply both sides of this inequality by a negative 1/3. And when you multiply by a negative, that's when the inequality changes. Now the inequality points in the other direction. We have positive x is greater than negative 1/3. So if we want to put this on the number line, again, if I made every single mark an even number, I'd have to go in between pretty small to get into their 1/3. So what if we just have 0 as our starting number? And if we skip 2 and make that a positive 1/3, then we'd skip 2 on the other side and make that a negative 1/3. So we can make these marks anything we want, and we just try and indicate what we're using as our scale by putting in a few of those numbers. So I need to go find the negative 1/3, and I'll be using an open circle. So we go to negative 1/3, open circle, and I want numbers greater than negative 1/3. So I would go to the right-hand side for it to be greater. And there we have it. Again, if we wanted to write this in interval notation, we were starting at negative 1/3. Now it's using a parenthesis because we don't want to include that because there was no line under the inequality. So we have a parenthesis. Now we're going to go and go and go forever. So we're going to stop at infinity, which means we're really not going to stop at all. And we use a parenthesis to indicate that infinity does not exist.